Oh, shit, man. Cheese it, Wolf. We're live. Hey, everyone. I'm live. How's everybody doing this evening? Okay, well, it looks really good, I guess. Anyway, I would like to begin this show, and I would like to dedicate this show to John Peterson, first timer. I hope I don't let you down, John. I hope that I don't. Let's see. Secondly, I would like to thank Barbara Gordon for the super chat last week. Wolf had an extended birthday on you. Thank you very much for that. And I would like to just kind of cover the facts. It's all I got. So I'm just going to cover the facts tonight, the way I see them. And if you have any facts that you would like to throw in, okay? Okay. So I want to begin by saying, because I had someone that commented this week and asked me, hold on, let me fix this camera touch. There we go. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm off center. Am I in center? Where in the world am I? Yeah, I'm center. All right. That works. So anyway, people had got a hold of me this week in the comment section and asked if there was any place where they could hear the voice for my suspect. You know, so I'm like, well, Sarah, thanks for being here. So, you know, I told him, I said that I've made like numerous videos with these voices, 2 voice comparison videos. Now, anybody that's heard them, because like I said, we can only listen for like similarities between it. I don't think anybody's came out and said to me, that is not his voice. You know, we can definitely hear that there are similarities there between the two. Hello, Dana. Hello, Monica. Hello, Dana again. And I knew what you meant. You know what, Dana? I'm fluent in typoes. Precious from New Orleans. All right. And Mrs. Mick Jagger, you know what? I'm a fan. You know what? I got that tattoo in basic training in 1986. What? Is everybody buffering? Please don't be buffering. I don't want to have to restart. Please tell me I'm here, people. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Thank you. Okay. So, see, a couple of people are. You know what? Just stick with me if you are buffering. Let me know if it goes away or if it does not. Okay. Hello, Alaska Blue. And on another note, when Doug Carter said concerning the vehicle that the suspect drove and where it was parked at the abandoned building. Now, I think that he came back and discussed this later, that it was not an abandoned car. Because abandoned, law enforcement would have had it, knew who it was, who it belonged to. You see where I'm at? He parked at the abandoned welfare building right there on County Road 300. Now, to get on 300, it goes like this. If you're familiar with where the crime was committed at. If not, go to Google. Go to Google right now, okay? And when you get to Google, put in Monon High Bridge Trail and then pull it up. Once you're like that, now to hit County Road 300, because that's the road that the crime occurred off of. You know, the trail goes this way, County Road 300 connects. There's a row of houses that separate the two. Now, to get on County Road 300, you'd be traveling east, but you would turn left right there before Freedom Bridge that crosses Highway 25. And you make a right, like you're going up to go park at Monon High Bridge Trail. But you keep going, it cuts back east, crosses the highway, comes back down again to the south like this, and then curves back down along the trail. Now, that's why he parked there, up here, and not at the main area. He didn't want people to see his license plate. It was from Alice State. You see where I'm at? That's why. Yes, he does. In fact, that's where the girls were found. That was on his property, because it's one of the houses right there that separate like Country Road 300 from Deer Creek and the trail right here where the tracks went. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up. That's why he had parked there. Now, people had asked me if I thought that it was his 2017. I forget what the make of the car was, and I apologize. But that's the one that he was pulled over in out there in St. Louis. Now, I don't think that that was the car that he drove. And I'll tell you, it's for this reason. He had filed bankruptcy in January of 2017. January. Like on the, I think it was the 12th day of the month. Okay. Now, having filed that, he lost one of his vehicles. I'm certain that he didn't have already bought a 2017 in January to file bankruptcy. You see where I'm at? So I don't feel that it worked like that. I felt that he bought that after the fact. But that's me. I cannot swear to that, but that's where exactly. And thank you, Dana, because he did. He had said the 14th when he meant the 13th. Because I questioned that right afterwards. I'm like, the 14th? I'm like, man, that's a little weird, because everybody was out there on the 14th because they was looking for the girls. And I thought from 12 to noon, everybody would have seen the vehicle. What was my thought? But then they come back and, he had said that was a mistake, that he meant the 13th. Now, they had said from 12 to 5 p.m. But again, this is me. You can take from it what you want. I am not saying that this is the way it happened, but I'm telling you my thoughts on it. I think that after the crime, when he was walking, when flannel shirt guy was coming in and saw him leaving, those are my Patty's words, saw the man leaving, that was at roughly just before 3 o'clock. I think he got in his car and headed on right then. Can't swear to that. I don't know why law enforcement would say until 5, but that's me. Why would he hang around? You see where I'm at? There was 2 people that seen him. He didn't want to be questioned. He didn't want to be implicated in any way. You know what? I have not seen any chat here in a long time. People still there? Are you? Am I talking to myself? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well done. Thanks, people. It's abandoned, though. They closed that one and moved it elsewhere. Okay. So what they did was boarded up the windows, but the building is abandoned. I see me, Grino, and I think it was Tony had walked by there, and I think we parked there with someone. Man, let me think of who that was. I think when we went out there, we did park there because we was going down Country Road 300 to get to a secondary entrance is why. And I think we walked out the same way down Country Road 300. Oh, man, please don't be buffering. Okay, now, handguns. It was always my thought, especially like right from the beginning. Clearly see from the photos before we had the video that the guy was older. Is everybody buffering? Everybody's buffering. One live show, man. One live show is what I'm asking for. Just one. It's not. I don't want to mention his name, but no, it isn't. Now, videos discussing the different persons of interest, which is good. He needs to do that. But at the same time, if you look at Kurtz, man, because he said that he was linked to the crime. I say he's not linked to the crime. He might be linked to some people. Okay, I don't know, man. Everybody's telling me I'm buffering. What do you want me to do? Do me a close down, start back up? What do you guys want me to do? Because if I go to a different, it's going to do the same thing. I'm telling you, it's going to do the same exact. Anyway, he is not tied to the crime. He is not linked to the crime. He is linked to people that crime. I mean, such as like Ronald Logan and such, but that does not like implicate somebody in the crime. If he had anything that tied him to the crime, because he's in Carroll County Jail in the state of Indiana, if they had a suspicion, a thought that he had did anything, they would be talking to him right away. They would know. They would have him. Hey, man, we got your DNA. We got everything, pal. You're nailed. That's what they'd say. That's why I'm telling you, it's not him. It's not him the same way it wasn't CE, the same way it wasn't, it goes around the board. And it's fine that Greeno was making videos on that because he's got to make some videos, get back in the whole thing of it, but it's not him. I have one person of interest, people. One. And I stand on that entirely. True. Guy. It's law enforcement's guy, but it's the guy I'm talking about. Yes, I was, Dana. No, we are. He went to Lafayette and is staying there. So we're not making any right now anymore. He was, oh yeah, man, we got to make this video. Oh well, yeah, man, I got a construction job in Lafayette, man, later, and I'm like, yeah, later, dude. So anyway, back to my guy again. Now, in St. Louis, for what he's in court for, is first-degree murder and sexual assault. Now, it said 3 ladies, but if I'm to understand, okay, Monica, you just missed that, and I don't know how. I just discussed that guy moments ago. Had just completed. Had just stopped talking about him. Okay, let me go back to that real quick. It's not him. It's not him. He's in Carroll County Jail. And I'll tell you why I know it's not him. Because they'd go right in there and talk to him. Yeah. If they had a suspicion that it was him, they'd go right in. Dude, you got your DNA and everything. We got it. You're hit. Hey, guy, this guy did it. That's what they'd do. That's how I know it isn't him. Thank you very much, Angie. And I'm glad that you're here. Alley Cat, how you doing? Man, glad everybody's showing up here. And you know what? I am going to be taking telephone calls. Not taking them. I'm going to be calling people. So let me get that for you here real quick. And if you want to wait a minute, 29 people. 35 people and 29 thumbs up. Holy God. People. It's fine. It's cool. It's all right. I don't care. I don't give a crap. Thumbs up. I don't know. Think I could go to their channel and thumbs them up? Yeah. You can send your number right there. Right there. And when you send your number there, I will call you. I will call you. Now, it's going to come from a private number. That's the kind that people never answer. Answer it. It's for me. That's because it isn't. It is not him. It never was. Yeah, thanks for dropping by, Michelle. And I love your analysis. It's really, really good. Yeah. Thank you. You made me 30 thumbs? Hey, man. Oh, I see. You guys, I was like, wow, that's some work there. You know what? I think you keep dropping out or something, Dan. On his crime down there in St. Louis, it was a sexual assault. Now, they said 3 women sexually assaulted, but there was only 2 other women in the store. You see where I'm at? The one lady refused, so I don't know what that, I don't know the whole on that. But I can say this. The crime was a sexual assault. Now, at the beginning, over here, older guy, younger girls, I think that it's pretty statistical. Okay, you know what? Neither do I. Neither do I. I do not lie. That is a fact. There you go. Have a good day, Michelle. Thanks for stopping in. The crime occurred in 2017, Michelle. And if you're going to sit here and start spreading that woo-whoop-de-woo, that he's gray now and everything, you didn't see him back then. Remember that. And I don't need your crap on my channel when I'm doing a live show. If you want to sit and run your, little keyboard, go elsewhere. Later. Peace. Hey, Rundle32. Man, you know what? I've seen you before. Where in the world have I seen you before? Oh, yeah, that's right. I think it was in my C drive. So, anyway, older guy, 2 younger girls. Statistically, that is normally, understand, sexual motivation. A sexually motivated crime. And that's what I was looking into. But I think that everybody at the beginning was looking into that, like sexual offenders, local. I went through every single one of them and about every surrounding county even. Found some people that looked familiar to the bridge guy, but never found anything that was like DOB, never made mention of anybody or anything like that. It was, you know what? That was before I knew that man had never committed a crime before. When I learned that, when I found that out. You see, it really changed the perspective, man, of what I was looking for. Before I thought, well, this could be anybody, literally anybody. But when you hear the guy had never committed a crime before, it's like, this is this is his first crime? Like, that's really bizarre. Really bizarre. Oh, yeah. And hang on, I'm going to resend that. So if anybody wants me to call them, if you want me to call you, if you have any question or anything to say, drop your number right there at mrcat420@gmail.com. And when you do, I will call you probably here in about 10 minutes. Okay? Mia Wrench. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I think the guy was there. He had a hat on. He didn't really give a crap because he wasn't looking for people to see him. He was trying to stay low key and out of people's eyesight. He didn't want to be like known as a person that was hiking there that day. He didn't park where people could see his vehicle because he didn't want to be like located there. But, and let me point this out to people, okay? Like this guy was like some great like genius, you see, that's out there changing his hair color and very mysterious and online. And I'm like, no, these people are a little bit out of their mind and do not think in that manner. You're not going to find some super genius, conniving type criminal that's out there trying to molest and kill little girls. These people got a mental problem. It's not that he was out there trying to change why. Man, the guy's married. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be buffering all night. I will be. Everybody's told me that since I began. And you know what? I think it's the my computer. It's not the computer. It's my AT&T. Because this week, and it will happen, man. I'll sit down. It'll run real super slow for about a minute or two, and then it'll like go right back to normal. And it'll do that a couple times a day. Might do it more often than what I think, but that could be what is happening with the buffering. I do too. In fact, I mean, I made videos about that. Do you pronounce your name Salter? Because you know what? After I came, oh man, yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. I am, but you know what? If I change to a different channel, I mean, if I change and then just come back on, it's going to continue. If it buffers, it should come out of it. That's the hope that I have. So. Anyway, let's see, where was I? DNA. Now, at the beginning of this case, and maybe not everybody was kind of viewing this at the beginning, because I get a lot of people that say I'm new to this case. And I'm glad that they're with my channel. Then that way I kind of, at least I feel that they're getting good information. You know, it's not theory. It's not this. It's not that. It's the other. If it is theory, it's based off the fact. That's the way that I put it. So if somebody is new, well, yeah, I'm hoping that it isn't all that bad. You only listen to it? You know what, man? We had a guy, I think Adam Dwyer, from Australia, and he told us like over a year ago that he would get up in the morning, man, when we'd do like an hour and a half podcast. He'd get up in the morning and listen to it on his way to work and back. I was like, man, thanks, Adam. You know, it's cool to have people on the other side of the world that, you know, like listen, you know, that really, you know, care about the case. Got people from UK. Hadn't seen anybody from the UK on here tonight. You know, get all kinds of people. So anyway, if you are new to the case, because people will get on my old videos, like before my suspect had come along, and they will remark about him like his hair, and I'm like, no, he didn't. That's not his hair. It's a hat. No, it looks like hair. You're exactly right. I said, yes. I said it looks like hair, but law enforcement said he was wearing that. And then they're asking about other things about the guy. And I'm like, you know, you really need to go watch my newer stuff because you were back here in the past, like 8-9 months ago. You need to step up and watch like my new stuff because that's where I'm talking about like this suspect, this person of interest. Chaos? Oh, that's really cool. So on the DNA, at the go, because I had said, now this is giving the for instance, aggravated crime, that there would likely be DNA at the crime scene. So we was asking, and I asked Sheriff Lazenby. He hemmed and hawed. He said the FBI was doing forensics. Look, it's been over 2 weeks, and if they're doing forensics, man, you got the hot track. Why wouldn't you know? See what you mean? We're at the mercy of the lab. Don't you have anything else to ask? That kind of thing. But as time went by, because I think it was probably by maybe 2 months later, somewhere in that area, an investigator comes to my house. Now, you know what? Let me tell you how this happened. I had called my dad's house. My stepmom had told me, you know what? An investigator from Howard County had called us about you yesterday. I'm like, what? Why? He's like, he said something about your aunt. I said, in Howard County, I only have one aunt. She's in her mid-80s. What's she doing? Doing illegal. I don't get it. So the next day, the next morning, early in the morning, here's a knock at my door. Bam, 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 bam. And I get up. Hadn't had any coffee. I go walking outside. Real bad mood. Just woke up, no coffee. You got to understand, a little bitter. And I look at the guy standing at my door, man. He's got like, you know, uniform type. I didn't understand because it was a plainclothes investigator. And so anyway, man, I look at him. I think he's the pool guy. I think he's the county pool guy out here to inspect the pool. Why in the, are you knocking on my door? You know, and he turned sideways, man. I seen the badge and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I said, I thought you was somebody else entirely. So he announces to me who he is. Okay. And I'm like, yeah. I said, my stepmom told me that you had called out there. I'm like, what do you want to know about my aunt? And he's like, your aunt? I said, yeah. She said you wanted to talk to me about my aunt. And he's like, no, this ain't about your aunt. This is about the Delphi case. So I snickered. I'm like, okay, all right. You know, see, so he asked me some questions like, where was you, this and that. And I was here, man. I said, look, I got 9 people that'll tell you I was here. I said, look at me. Look at me. I said, you can look at me and say, I got the wrong house. Could you not? And he's like, well, no, but in order to clear you, we need your DNA. That's how I knew they had the DNA. Then it's all out. Yes, they have DNA because I'm on here telling everybody they got DNA. They have DNA. If they say we can't clear you without DNA, that means that they have DNA that they know is the suspects. You see where I'm at? Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I can talk, but you don't want to be there. You do not want to be there if I had no coffee. Okay. Peace. I got a Dr. K. So anyway, they have DNA. And we know they have DNA. Now, here's the whole thing on DNA. Everybody's on here and they're like, well, we don't know. It's viable DNA. It could be corrupt DNA. Corrupt DNA. DNA is DNA. Now, let's say you just got something. Well, it's pretty microscopic. If you got DNA, you got DNA. If you have a sample of DNA, you can multiply that DNA. You can refine that DNA. You can do a lot of stuff with DNA. But when you have someone's DNA, you can definitely confirm they're the dude. Did anybody send their number? If you sent your number to that address, put a yes down there, and I'm going to go to calls here in 3 minutes. That number again is... Oh, hey, is Barbara Gordon here? Is Barbara Gordon here? Barbara, if you're here, please say hello. Barbara Gordon. Send it to that address. That address right there. Send your phone number. And guess what? I'm calling. I'll call you. I'll call you right now. Well, not right now. In a couple minutes. But I will call you. And you will hear my voice on the other side of the phone saying, hello, this is Michael J. Katt. Thanks for being here, everyone. Hello, people. Barbara Blanton. Okay. Well, not totally Barbara Blanton. Needed Barbara Gordon. She probably is not here. In fact, she's probably going to get in the comments and say, I'm sorry I missed the live. You know what? Yes, John. Actually, yes. Now, what I did say in that video, and want to make this precise as possible, because what I was doing was I was looking at it like this. At that time, law enforcement had never once mentioned a vehicle. And I talked to Sheriff Lesenby about that. And he's like, yeah, you're right. We never did mention a vehicle. So now if law enforcement doesn't mention a vehicle, because if they felt that there was a vehicle, it seems only right that they would have asked the public, if you see where I'm at, to please give us a make and model. So I was going to an assumption that if he did not have a vehicle, and I stated at the beginning, if the suspect did not have a vehicle, this is where he would have been. This is how he would have got there and left. It was the only thing that made sense. He wasn't seen on a country road. He wasn't seen on the highway, and he wasn't seen leaving the parking area, nor a car. And I know two people that had arrived there and left there. Neither one mentioned a car. So if he did not use the car, and that's how I started that video, then it would have been a safe bet, exactly, that he had walked the tracks down to the trail. Once he got to the trail area, he got off the tracks, walked down to the main trail, right on the west side of Freedom Bridge, then walked it across. When he left, he went back into the wood line, back over across to the tracks, and walked it back into Delphi because nobody seen him. He was on no cameras. Now, nobody sees you when you're on no cameras and everybody's got a photo and nobody says, yeah, I seen that guy the other day walking down a country road, or I seen that guy out on the highway. There was a lot of people that, would have seen that guy if he was in any of those areas. So yes, that was my, that was the best stance that I did have at that time, if he didn't have a vehicle. Now, when it came down that I was looking at my suspect and everything started matching the criteria, everything. There was nothing that I looked at that did not match the criteria. Now, when I found his brother that lived in Fort Wayne, once I found that and I entered my suspect's address down by St. Louis to Fort Wayne, got two routes on Google. One was I-70. The other was the Hoosier Heartland, which goes right by Monon High Bridge Trail on Highway 25. At that point, I said, I got him. This is him. This is the guy, no doubt. Because now I can place him there. See, now I can place him as being right there by Monon High Bridge Trail. not in Delphi, actually crossing right by on Highway 25, Monon High Bridge Trail. I found him on Facebook. I went to my suspect's Facebook page, was looking through his friends. They ended the friends. You can no longer look at his friends. I want to point that out if you go there. Now, this was back when, and I think that was probably December of last year, I think. I could be wrong on that, but I think it was, no, not. Yeah, probably December of last year. It very well could have. No, I'm not giving a name. I'm not giving a name because that is a guy that had nothing to do with this, and I don't want anybody doing it. You know who it is and can find it, that's on you, but I'm not naming the guy. I'm not even naming my suspect here. But when I found the direction, I said, this is the route he always took to his brother's house, and he always stopped at Monon High Bridge Trail. That's how I knew the trails as well as he did, because that's the route he took to his brother's house. See where I'm at? All right, hang on. Checking mail here. Somebody may have wrote well. We'll find out. You never know until you look. Hey, people did write. Oh my God, a bunch of people. Okay, I am calling Monica. Monica, prepare for a call, because I am talking to you, Monica. Calling Monica now.
Hello.
Hey, Monica, is that you?
It is me.
All right, hey, it's Michael. How you doing?
Oh, Michael, you're on the right track, man.
I tried.
Trust me on this one.
I tried to best.
Oh, you're totally right on the right track. The only thing I have to ask you about this thing is, some people have been saying, is it possible? And I wonder this too, and you're going to put this to rest, I'm sure, because you're a smart guy and you got it going on. When that picture of that Libby took of Abby on the bridge, how far back would that guy have been before he accosted them? So what I'm saying is, how come we can't see that guy on the bridge?
Okay, now this is the way that I was looking at that, because we know exactly where that photo was taken. Libby was on this platform. Abby was standing here when it was taken, and we got a timestamp at 2:17. So we know exactly when that was taken. Now, we know because she got the pictures. Now, it was on video, but law enforcement took pictures out of that, a bridge guy. All right? But of course, they didn't have a timestamp on it. Now, I got a whole about that, because that would have told me how far back behind he was, and how well he could have crossed that bridge.
A big thing, like we don't know that, right?
So, and if he could have crossed that bridge quickly, that would have told us those two things: that he knew the path and could cross the bridge quickly. It would have said he had crossed it before. But he would not give that to me because it was like investigative information, Indiana code, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, fine, thank you. Now, what we did do was we did a very slow walk, probably a little bit slower than what the girls would have walked, from where they entered, from exactly where they entered at, down to where that picture was taken. Now, I walked probably a little bit slower because I was trying to walk very slow. It could have been like standing around, could have, any number of things. I don't know. I was just doing it to kind of make a determination of time. Now, when I was dropped off there, I walked down to the bridge slowly. I took a picture, so to speak, like, okay, this is me taking a picture of the bridge. Waited a second, started walking back up across the bridge. We got out there to where that picture was taken. I said, okay, take the phone, step over there. I'm going to stand right here. Now, take my picture and tell me what time it is. We got to the point right there where the girl, where Libby had took Abby's picture, 8 minutes before they did. 8 minutes before they got there. So that tells me that there was a little bit of lost time for whatever reason. And I'm not making a theory exactly, but what I'm saying is there was some lost time. Now, in that time,
they met up with him
at
the beginning.
I'm getting right to that, because in the video that we hear when he says to them down the hill, now it's guys down the hill. Now, an older guy would never approach two young girls, age 13 and 14, and call them guys unless they had prior words.
Yeah.
You see?
It's a funny thing you say that, because when that was released, my main first instinct was familiarity.
Yeah.
You knew these people.
Knew them. I mean, I don't think that my guy knew who they were. Okay, but I think that he may have said something to them when they came in. Something that they may have said.
Familiarity from where? From a minute ago?
Yeah.
20 minutes? From familiarity.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you, but I think that he may have said something. They may have said something back. It got, kind of, like that. He went across a little bit angry, woo, 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 because when he was crossing the bridge, for whatever reason, Libby felt threatened. She knew something was up, and she put it on video record. Now, she wouldn't have did that if it was a fellow hiker walking across. She wouldn't have felt any threat from that.
Absolutely.
You see where I'm at? So I do believe that there could have been words exchanged prior to them getting to the bridge, which set him off and then got him walking down there, because that's when he's like, they're the two. They're the ones. You see where I'm at? I'm crossing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but the thing is still, where was this dude on the bridge when the picture was taken? Was he way back in the at the beginning?
No.
And it's not. Then how could he cross so quickly? Like what?
Well, we have no idea how fast he crossed that. We have no idea. We don't know the time when that occurred. I mean, he could have been crossing all day. We don't know. But the point I think is that, well, hold on a second. Yeah, it's not that guy, GK. It's not him. I touched upon that twice. Hang on, I was just answering people in chat. But
people are throwing out these names.
I know.
When you said TB, I was like, okay, the gut was, and my gut's good. I got a good gut, and it went right. Oh yeah, that's it. Mine was the same way. I mean, when I was looking at him, that's kind of the way that it went down. When I heard, okay, he was dressed like Bridge Guy. He had never broken a law before. Assault first. They called Carroll County. I'm like, go check this guy out. When I pulled the mugshot up, I'm like, yeah, that does look like Bridge Guy. Yeah, he might be somebody I want to look into. Now, when I started looking into him, it kind of surprised me a little bit, because everything that I was checking into a facts of the case matched him. And there came a point, because I was telling Greeno before he went to jail, and I'm like, dude, I think we're looking at the guy here. I said, I think this is the guy, man. I really do. I'll save what he was saying on that. I mean, let him on his channel kind of cover that. But, it really came down to, like, when I found the directions, once I seen that, then I'm like, yeah, no, not only, this is the guy. This is totally him in every way. Too many coincidences add up to a plan.
Exactly. You know what? If you take one piece of evidence, and say, I rest everything on this, well, you better make sure that piece is correct. But when you got a different match, then it starts to mean something. Then it starts to mean something.
Absolutely. And I hear all these theories, this guy and the other guy and the other guy.
Yeah.
See where they're coming from. They're like, that could be this guy. But everything else doesn't add up to that person. Maybe the look is similar.
Yeah, right.
Everything else, you got this TV guy. Everything adds up 100%.
Yeah.
You got this, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this.
You know,
Generally speaking, these guys are married men with normal families. It's weird. It's like they all have this kind of normal guy appearance on the outside.
Yeah.
And for some reason,
he was a preacher.
Here we go with that.
Yeah. Something to think about. He was a preacher. It's like, wow, what kind of a demon is he,
Now, you know what? It's always the ones that are virtue signaling out there. I'm the best. I'm this. I'm that. God this. God that.
Power.
You know, the ones that scream the loudest.
Power, I think, was his main. And you know what? That really goes back to what Doug Carter was saying about, because I think that even as a preacher, it was power over people. It was something to have more power for him, I think.
Well, it's all this stuff that's going on in the States right now. I'm a Canadian. I live in Canada, and my kids live in the USA, and I love the USA, and I'm glad that.
Whoa! Hey, if I may stop you right there, please.
Yeah.
We are America. The USA is a corporation. I don't call it USA. I call it America, because the USA is what's got us under their thumb as far as debt slaves. Please call this country America for me on my channel. Please.
All right. We're America.
Thank you.
And,
means the most.
We've got a lot of people who are good people who want this. Yeah. And right now, thank God we've got President Trump in power, because God help us all if we didn't have him right now.
Monica? I got another channel. You know what?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Because I've
been watching Icon. I've been watching Icon, thanks to you.
Hey, okay, great.
Yeah, I've been watching Icon. He is a straight up cool guy. I've been watching Icon.
He's the greatest, man.
Could you send me the link to your channel on my email, because I can't seem to find you?
Nope. I'm going to send it right there in the chat. There it is. That is for my other channel, UCC1. Now, on that channel, I am waiting for my final document to arrive. And then I am creating my first video there. It may be this week. It may be next week, but it will. No.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Hang on.
More patriots.
Monica, 1 second. Hang on. Sandra, no. Sandra Rios? No, there was not an abandoned vehicle. If it was abandoned, law enforcement would have got it. They would have known who it belonged to.
Well, that was a big bumble mistake.
Hang on a second, Monica. So he had messed up in, that the car wasn't abandoned. The building that he parked at was abandoned. He got in his vehicle and left. Anyway, I just wanted to cover that so she knew. But that's how that went, Sandra. All right, go ahead, Monica.
Well, I just want to say that this investigation has had some serious mistakes. Very perplexing is that when they said they got the date wrong on that when they were doing the press conference, and then they got the abandoned vehicle. Like, that's a big deal.
I don't know that he said abandoned
live.
Well, you know what, Doug Carter, I mean, yeah, it's his job to talk and stuff like that. But, man, even at the first year press conference, he was lying. We went out there and we talked to Mr. Nations in Colorado. I'm like, no, he didn't, man. He's sitting up there lying. So he's going to say what he's going to say. But he came out and then said that, it was on the 13th, not the 14th. And that the car was not abandoned. The building was. That was the welfare building. They abandoned that one, boarded up the windows, I think moved that on into Delphi. But that's the abandoned building on Country Road 300, Sandra, that he was parked at. They said from 12 to 5. I think it's been about 12 to 3. But that's me. Take what law enforcement says is real, not me. but I'm saying it would have been at about 3 o'clock.
But why do you think, Michael, do you think they are deliberately saying things that they know are not right?
Yes, you know what? That's what I wanted to talk to you about a minute ago, and I want to get your answer on this, if I may. Now, you had said earlier about your gut and looking at TB, and you said, "Yeah, you know what? I feel."
Yeah, absolutely.
At the Delphi briefing, when they released that second sketch. Now, when they did that, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. When I seen them put that up, I'm like, okay, something's wrong, because now they're not even talking old sketch. They're saying, this is the new sketch. This is the one that really looks like him. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? No, it don't. And I knew that. I was already fully on the page that it was TB. All right. Now, I want to know, why do you think they did that? Because I think they was handing out purposeful disinformation to end the investigation. What are your thoughts?
Well, I couldn't figure it out. I thought, what the hell is going on here? But when I watched your podcast and I watched your video, and you said that this was a ploy to drop the investigation to be able to now not pick up the clues, because if someone calls in with that thing, they know it's a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
So they can drop it. That makes the most sense to me. I honestly, and I'm a smart person, I never thought of that.
You know what? Think about this. Whenever the government does something, what do? They name it. Do you see where I'm at? Like Operation Twist, this, that. Well, this right here was Operation New Direction. New Direction. I'm like, yeah. It took a few days to kind of piece that together. And once I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what it was. They was handing out some BS. That way if people called on that and they got a bunch of new leads from it, it was all washed away, that we do not have to go and investigate that, because they already know who it is. They have to investigate the others.
I do understand the back page part of this thing. I understand how they're trying to save themselves resources to make sure that they don't run around with their tails, running around chasing their tails. I get it. And I do see sort of like the end game, it justifies the means, but it screws up a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes us all crazy. However, thanks to Michael, we figured it out. And now I can rest easy thinking, you know what? It makes sense. I'm not perplexed by it, because you got it straight. You figured it out. You went beyond the pale, and you figured out where those guys got their ideas from, and whether or not they thought of it themselves, which I doubt. I think the FBI probably figured it out for them. This is how you do it. So you don't waste your time. And that makes logical, total sense to me, 110%. But I can't say anything more than that. I think you've solved the case. I think it's been taken care of, and I think we're going to have to wait a long time to get this thing figured out.
I feel the same way. I think that we, like I had said in the past, there's not going to be anything new come out until after, he goes to court in October 2020. Now, I hold to that. I think we'll go to the third year press conference. I don't want to give it away. I don't like stepping on their toes like that, but it'll be something along the lines of Doug Carter saying, you think you won, you think you're out there and you got away with this, but we're going to get you. One day you'll see. He'll repeat the last 2 years, because they already know who it is and they're waiting. Okay. But so people are going to believe law enforcement, as they do. And I think that we do have a way, and I can't really be on here repeating myself every week. That would get a little stupid, of just sitting here repeating myself, because it would lose its new show advantage. But, still, if anything new was to come.
Do you think that that's why they didn't want you in the press conference?
I know.
Because you had the goods on them.
Yeah. Well, now understand that when I went to the press conference, I had already told everybody right here in a live video. I said, "Oh no, man! When I get over there, I'm going to ask." And they already knew. And I'll tell you how I knew that. When I say they, I'm talking about like local law enforcement. Because when I arrived there, I go walking in. First people to walk right over to me was Holman and Kim Riley. And Holman's like, "You ain't welcome here. You got to leave." I said, "I am not leaving. You're going to leave." So I'm not, man. It's public. No, it isn't. It's for the media. I am media. Let me see your credentials. I hand him my WKAT card. He went like that, hand it right back. Didn't even look at it. He says, "It's fake. You got to leave. You got to leave." So I'm sitting there, man, kind of, back and forth with him on this because I feel I had every right to be there. And this is what he says to me. He kind of leans over and he's like, "You said you was going to get the Delphi reward." To him, I never one time ever said that. I said that there's a possibility I might get the small. Now I'm talking about the citizens of Evansdale. They put up $27,000 for it, right? Now, then they have the FBI reward, which comes with the disclaimer. You have to call in. You have to give information that leads to the arrest and the charges and the indictment. To even get that. Nobody's going to ever get that or the Delphi money. I told people that at the beginning of the Delphi case. Nobody's going to get that reward money. If you think you're going to find the guy, unless you know who's in that picture, you're not. All right. So I told him that. And I'm like, no, that ain't. That is not what I said. But what that did is that told me Holman watches my videos. They knew what I was going to ask. I also know that the name TB in Delphi, that's hush. You do not mention his name. You're not going to hand that out to the public, and they're not going to have anybody asking the prosecutor about TB or the death penalty. Not going to happen. You can't come in. First question. Yeah, Rafael Sanchez, please. Let's go to this guy. He knows the questions to ask. Yeah, hey, Mr. Prosecutor, that's the whole of it right there. They wasn't going to let me in. They know the same as I know, same as I'm letting you know.
Of course.
Anyway, Monica,
it's totally rigged.
I have to let you go because I got a couple other people I got to call.
All right,
but I appreciate you sending me your number.
You keep doing what you're doing, man. You are the man. You figured it out.
Oh, hey, listen.
I respect your mind, and I follow you every day, and I want everyone to support you and go out there and figure it out and do it. Use your own brain and figure it out and support Michael because he is the man.
Well, thank you very much for that.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, you have a good evening.
You too, honey.
That was Monica, everyone. And now I am going to, let's see who else. Marmar. She wants to talk horses. Uh-oh. Well, let's talk horses. Let's see where this goes. Maybe.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice.
Okay, Marmar, yeah, it's forwarded to a voice thingy there. We will not be talking to Marmar currently. That may be it. Uh-oh. Marmar, you need to, I can't call that number. I will try one more time here. But it's set to go to like voicemail or something. Calling again. I can call you. Send me your number if you would, Susan. Let's give her a second here.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 5613.
Okay, hang on. I am calling Susan here. Let me pull her number up. 1 second. I gotta find this. There it is. We are calling Susan. Maybe. Susan?
Hi.
Hey, there you are. How you doing?
Fine, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting by.
Good.
I'm pretty happy.
I wanted to ask you about, does Delphi, Indiana get the newspapers that come out of St. Louis?
No.
Do you have access to them
Online.
online? Okay.
Well, we live
So-
like hundreds of miles north of there. We wouldn't, I mean, it's not even in our state. You see what I mean? We wouldn't really have a reason in a town of 3,500 to get the St. Louis newspaper. But if anything was down there that concerned the case, it would probably be brought to the attention of Delphi.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm out in California, and I was just wondering so you can access it online, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the name of the newspaper?
The St. Louis something.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, the St. Louis Courier, the St. Louis Tribune is something along that line. But I don't exactly do look at it here and there on any articles that involve TB, like court and such. They're usually one of the people covering it because it's a St. Louis crime.
Right. And do you know, like, do you have like an idea of what the timeline is going to look like for that case?
Currently on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind you, it's going to be a while because he doesn't have his jury trial until January or October of 2020. So that's like 15 months from now. Then after that, after his jury trial, once he's convicted, all right, then you're still looking at a month or two for him to get to prison and get his DOT number. And I mean, like, all that's going to happen before they can even talk to him. So you're still looking at about 2021 until you're even going to hear about charges. Until that time, they're not going to say anything new. Nothing. There won't be anything new. That's me, though.
Do you think any of it could be streamed?
Could be what?
You know, like the OJ trial on TV?
No, not at all. If it was,
Why do you think that?
well, OJ's a big guy. He's on this guy at all, aside of what he did down there. Now, they're not going to go in there with TV cameras because that guy did that. I mean, it's a heinous crime. Yeah, but they're not going to have, like, news footage of it. It might seem that way because the Delphi case, and that he was kind of tied to the Delphi case, but realize everything got shut up on TV right after it started coming out. I mean, after the FBI went down there, right after his arrest, got his DNA, started running it through CODIS, and then the news is like, well, nothing's came matched on CODIS yet, but they're still, Now, that was the last I heard about the DNA. Nothing's matched yet, but they're keeping an eye to that, and they're running it. And, well, where'd it go from there, news? It just suddenly shut up. You see where I'm at?
Right.
Now Delphi doesn't
Yeah.
even want to hear his name. Like, so I understand that there's some reasons there, that it's being hushed for a reason in Delphi. Down there, they don't know. They don't know. Nor do they care, and that's great. I mean, I don't say that they don't care. The point is that they got their own case they're working on. That needs to occur because what he did down there was real bad. He needs to pay for that. He needs to pay for this. He needs to pay for Evansdale. And he will pay for all of them, every single one. He'll be in Carroll County, man. By 2021, he'll be here. You got my word on it, because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to beat Joe Namath, but I'm going to guarantee you it's TV. There it is. You have my word.
I agree. Well, thank you for the information. If I can get a subscription online to the newspaper down there, I'll be privy to more details that happen during the trial.
Yeah, I did want to cover his trial, as it goes on, because each time that he goes to court, they will give like a release of the information that occurred that day, at least from the area of like mainstream media. So we'll have that. And I am going to cover that.
Oh, good. Okay, but it won't be for quite a while, huh?
Well, there's going to be things in the meantime, jury and this and that. It's going to be intermediate, just here and there. It's not going to be like every day, once a week, or, now it's going to build to a point, but, that's going to be down a long. And that means a whole lot to talk about on this case. And I don't want to sit and run stuff in the ground that don't need to be run in the ground. When a person's heard it, they've heard it. If a person hasn't heard it and they get on the comments and ask about it, I'll be happy to answer. But just making videos, it's, There you go.
Well, thank you for doing all the homework for us and sharing it.
No problem. And, I want to point out that I want people to listen to me. I do. I think that I got great information regarding this. But what I don't want is people not listening to law enforcement, because I'm not trying to take that and say, well, I'm not even saying that. You listen to them all day long. But if there's something that they're saying that I think is wrong, or maybe a lie, or maybe a stretch of truth, or maybe they're handing out some BS, to Lindy, I'm going to tell you that. But I'm not telling people not to listen to law enforcement. And people get on here, well, law enforcement didn't say that. You're an idiot. Okay, I understand they didn't say that. And you're booted. Bye. To come on my channel and call me an idiot, that's first way out, man. That's like buying a ticket, first class, later.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, it was nice talking to you, Susan. You have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, let's see. There it is. Okay, and that was her. Hold on. I'm going back to Sue here. Or I'm not sure how. Hold on. We are calling her again. Not Susan. Not the person we just. It ain't like that.
Hello?
Yeah, there you are. It's Michael. How you doing?
It's Susan again.
Did I just call you again?
Yep, sure did.
Oh, then it was Susan again. I'm sorry. Well, you had resent that, and I'm like, okay, this is one we'd already tried. Let's try it again. I thought it was the other person. I'm sorry. Have a good evening.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that we have called everyone now. This is good. Okay, so you too. If you want me to call you, drop your phone number right here. Hurry up. Make it quick. So bam, right there. Oh wait, you probably don't want to like throw it all over online, do you? My bad. Are you talking to me? Yes, I did cover Kurtz 2 or 3 times. That's the issue with the live show because, I mean, if somebody comes in a little late, they didn't hear what was already talked about. But you know what? They only have pictures of him in court, nothing of him moving or walking because there's no video cameras, only photographs in court. The only one we have of him walking is at the traffic stop. Anyway, Kurtz, he ain't the guy because he's in Carroll County Jail. And if they thought he had anything to do with it, they'd march right in there and say, dude, we got the goods on you. You did it. We know it. And he went, like charges would have been filed ever ago. But anyway, it is not him. I still stand that the only person that I've seen that fits all the criteria at 100% is TB. I call him my suspect, but he's going to be law enforcement suspect in due time. I call him that because, to my knowledge, I'm the only person that's on here saying, yeah, it is him. It always was, it still is, and it always is going to be. Thank you. Alley Cat. Yep. You guys rock, man. And you know what? Me and Wolf enjoy Tuesday evenings. In fact, I tell everybody. My landlord wanted me to go help catch cats tonight. And I'm like, not at 7 p.m. So it's what you say to landlords. Makes you look big in front of them. You know, like I got a live show to do. Thousands of people will be there waiting for me. You got to exaggerate. Hey, everybody does it. Well, me and Wolf do. We exaggerate here and there when it fits our needs. All right. If anybody has a question that they just want to ask in chat, let it go. Nobody says Zach. Whenever you use a cuss word, it will end it. I have to okay it. Sterling, I really don't, and I had thought about that. He wanted to know if I thought that he. Oh wait. Yeah, no, I really don't. But I had speculated in the distant past if he had not have parked at the south side of the bridge, took that driveway in, then it's got that car path that goes up underneath the bridge. I thought he could have parked down there and then been on the north side of the bridge, you know, waiting for someone to come in. And when they cross to the south side, go over, commit the crime, get in his car and leave. You see where I'm at? But kind of know better than that because, I mean, like even going way back, but it was like when you hear Mike Patty say that a guy seen him leaving. Well, we knew that guy wasn't on the south side of the bridge. And when he was coming in was the only place where you could have seen him leaving. So we know that he headed out there at Freedom Bridge. So I don't feel that he was parked on the south side, then went north, then went back. Because he was parked there by the abandoned welfare building on County Road 300. Yeah, he did walk to the south side. He walked across the bridge to the south side. But at that point, took him down the hill, past the private driveway, down to the car path, down to the creek, crossed, and then left heading directly west. You know, back to the... Wolf's the greatest, man. You know what? I tell him that 100 times a day. I swear that too. Be laying there sleeping, you know, with his little leg moving and stuff. Go up, kiss him on the head. And I'm like, I love you more than anything, you little bear. What do I fucking do? It's like, growl at me. Go ahead. I don't care. I still love you. Yeah. And Wolf, thanks you very much, Sterling. I kind of question that too. I mean, you know, because Hillary is talking about him being a preacher, cults, you know, and stuff like that. There was something because a man doesn't go and do this to me twice in 2 separate occasions as Evansdale and Delphi. A preacher don't go do that. And to do that a demonic angle. It shows something up here wasn't working correctly. And I wonder what was in the deepest recourses of his brain. What was bringing that forth? What did he think that he was doing in a deeper fashion by doing this? Because it does, man. It seems very demonic. And yeah, Friday the 13th. Like I say, and the other one on the 13th, it seems very demonic and something demonstrably Christianity. In St. Louis, I'm not going to go into the exact specifics, but can I say, but Sizek, see where I'm at? Very anti-biblical. So it makes me wonder what was going on. I had asked him about it, but I don't think he can write. He's allowed a writing instrument outside supervision, probably for safety reasons. They don't give him a razor, nothing like that. It may have been. I think that was before Peaches. I think that goes back beforehand. I would have to look, but I think that it was before 2012. But just to hear, that tells you something's wrong, man. No preacher goes and does. Well, what's his name? Jim Jones, might be about the only two. Also, now I can't speak for Evansdale on this angle, but I do know that in January of 2017, my suspect had committed bankruptcy, all right, and quit his job shortly thereafter. Now, that is the words of a coworker of his that was working with him that had said that in a newspaper article. He quit his job right after filing bankruptcy, which would have been the second half of January or the first week of February. He quit his job. So he was free at 2:00 in the afternoon to be traveling. Same applies out there in Evansdale, at least as far as that, but I don't know his job. And I don't know where he was traveling at that time, but I can look at the MO and say that they are an exactitude of one another. Exact one another. Down a highway, pull over at a rest area, abduct 2 girls, kill them, leave. Same exact. Reversible dates. Another piece of that puzzle. A date can only reverse to one other date. One other. So secret society, right. I brought up Masons there. I mean, look at the traffic stop. They was called because a man was driving erratic and acting insane on the highway. That was TB. He was pulled over because he pulled in front of a guy and slammed his brakes on so the guy would hit him. TB was drunk, very drunk, and the cops asked him to breathalyze him and this and that. And he's like, "Whoa, wait, you didn't test the other guy. And he's drunk. He's drunk as I am." And let him walk away and go home. On him an MFer and every other thing, and let him go when he's drunk as all get out. Well, most state troopers a little Masonic. This guy, I do believe the same. Masons don't really, find other Masons guilty. They don't. He's a Mason. Let it slide. It's fine. He's a Mason. No, don't worry, man. That's the way they play. If it was you or me, we would have been hung for that. Know it. And you know what? Missouri State Police ain't going to say that. Well, you're only looking at one aspect of the investigation. Well, what aspect is it that sends a drunk guy, to jail for driving on the highway and acting like that? That's the one I'd be hit with. Why not him? He's amazing. He's amazing. He's a good guy, a hard go. And he's hard. He's a good guy. See, I think they would have blackballed him out of the Masons because he can't go to court for this. Okay? He cannot go to court for first-degree murder and be found guilty if he's a Mason. If he's still in the Masons, they'll find him innocent. You can say, we know he did. I'd say, yeah, I know, but they're not going to find him guilty because all he needs is one Mason on there to go, not guilty. That's all it takes. O.J. Simpson. Need I say more? O.J. Simpson. Not guilty. Here's all the proof in the world. Not guilty. Mark Furman set him up. The glove didn't fit. Not guilty. It's all crap, man. All cops are. All cops are. Bobbies, you know what I'm talking about with the checker? Yeah, they're all over there. But they have to be, man, because they realized long ago you'd never get a promotion unless you was a Mason. So they're all Mason when they joined the Bobbies in England. It's how you do it, man. All cops are Masons. And if you're a Mason, you can go about your way. Just like TB did. Just like TB. And think, if it wasn't for him being a Mason, one woman wouldn't have died. I wonder if the cop ever sits up and thinks about that. I wonder if he does. Or he's like, nah, he was a Mason. It's cool. I ain't worried about that. I mean, that's the horror of it. Yeah. Money does. And so does Masons. You know what? I mean, like, I'm not taking a bad on Masons. I'm not talking bad about Masons. I'm not going that angle. What I'm saying is there is a guy that I believe has committed 2 sets of murders, plus the one in St. Louis, okay, that I believe very well may have been a Mason and was let loose because he was a Mason. Okay? I know Masons, and I know some really good Masons, and they're not bad people like that. So I'm not saying that they are. What I'm getting at is he was probably let go for that reason, because he is a Mason. So I do think that there was at least a secret society in there. I have, if you're talking to me. I've looked into all that, man. I went through the deepest angles of all that. You will never understand what I have looked to in my life. It goes to the basic depths and back. Yeah, masonry at high levels, exactly. Now, if you take the date of Evansdale and the date of Delphi, what do these states equal? 32. 32. That could be Masonic. Could have been a 32nd degree. I mean, I don't know. But it is kind of weird that they equal 32, both of them. Okay, Alley Cat, you need to explain what that is. And if you put any cuss word in it, it's going to ask me to, everywhere in the world, they're liars. You know what? There's people in America that like really love and respect the cops. They're out there protecting and serving us, and they're putting their life on the line. They need respect. Like, no, they don't. This is the land of freedom, and now we live in the land of laws. You think I need to go out and respect some cop for taking my money? You think that's justice? Really? You're ignorant. You are not an American. You belong to the United States, because that's where your little messed up brain is, slave. I love my boys in blue out there, but they're lighted. Our troops are protecting our freedom. Show me freedom. Ain't no freedom. You guys are out of your mind if you think we got freedom. Show me freedom. Show me freedom. Go ahead. I'm all ears and I'm eyes. Oh, you know what? Something bad happened today. Does anybody know what happened today? Someone died. Does anyone know who died? Because I grieved when I heard it. No one? H. Ross Perot died today. H. Ross Perot. Yeah. Exactly. Perot. Loved Perot. Perot was my man. I voted for Perot twice. I didn't vote for anybody else, but back when he was twice. Well, in fact, man, I voted for, this is my voting record. I voted for Reagan, second term. I voted for Ross Perot in 92. Voted for him again in 96. That was it. I never voted in another election thereafter. Not one. Not one. Those were the only three people that I had ever voted for president. Didn't vote for Trump. I don't vote. Understand, I do not vote. Vote doesn't mean anything to me. Honestly, in fact, and I don't want to, I don't really want to change the conversation here, off of what we was. But it wouldn't so much matter if Nigeria came over here and kicked our butt, and China came over to run our government. It wouldn't matter a great deal to me. It's not that they can do anything more than what our government already has. Seriously. What more could they do? Make us work for rice? Please, our government, corporation, is headed that way, same way. My vote doesn't mean anything. Nobody's vote does. You're voting for a corporate president. There is no government in America. There is no government in America. It is a corporation, the United States. America, washed away. That's why they don't have to treat you like the Constitution and the Bill of Rights says. They don't have to. You know why? They own your name. They own your name. It gives them jurisdiction over you. They own your name, man. If you owned your name, you would be your own master. You'd be sovereign. But the state and the government owns your name. There it is. And that's why they have jurisdiction over you. Well, what reminded me of that is when I said something about ears. You remember when he was in the debate? He's like, well, if you guys have a better plan, I'm all ears. Because he had these big ears, sticking out. It was funny, man. And I loved Perot, man. He'd be like, that there dog don't hunt. He was all full of wisdom. And he had a whole head full of it, man. That guy was a genius. He was, to every extent, what Trump was. Exactly what Trump was. Because that's what he was talking about doing. What they're doing here, ladies and gentlemen, if you vote for this here, NAFTA, you are going to hear a giant sucking sound of all your jobs going overseas. 20 years later, everything made in China. Everybody's like, well, everything was always made in China. It shows you're a millennial. You don't remember it when anything was made worth of crap. And stuff that's made in China break when it's coming out of the box. It's crap. That's the truth of it. Anyway, I did not mean to get back onto that subject, but I did love H. Ross Perot, and I wanted to throw it out there because I am going to my new channel. Let me pull that up. Let me get the link for you. In case you want to go check it out, if you do, I will be here on this channel, and that will be coming up when I make my first video this week or next. This is the link to that channel, UCC1. I will not be discussing the Delphi case on there. So if anybody goes there expecting the Delphi case, I thought you were going to be talking about the Delphi case. You will be gone. You will leave, and you will not come back. And icons. You know what? Love icons. Icons, go check his channel out. Spelled just like it. I'm going to type it for you. You guys need to see this man. He is, just put this into YouTube. Icons, spelled just like that. That will pull his channel up. Great guy. Great guy, man. Thank you very much, Jay Keller. Yeah. And, I mean, you know what? He had a good, you can say country. It was a Texas kind of sense of humor. But in the debates, he was winning the debates. He was winning the points to become the next president in 92. And then, suddenly, he bailed out. upon my promise to run for president, I hereby pull my name. And I told a friend of mine, because him and I were like really big, even back in like 92 concerning politics. I told him, I says, you know what? I said, I don't think he's getting out. I says, I think he's just like saving like some of the money, because he was spending all of his money on it. Did not take one dime of federal money. Not one dime, I think, man. It was all his money he was putting into the campaign. And I told him, I said, he's just saving his money. I said, he'll get back in the election. You really think? I said, yeah. I said, I think he probably will. And you know what? He did. But at that time, they had already overtaken him point-wise, and he couldn't win. I questioned that. I definitely questioned why he got out. Because he would have won. That was a long-held dream of his for over 20 years to win the presidency. So why would he bail out? Why? I didn't understand it. I felt that he was threatened. Trump. My dad's a 33rd degree Mason. Maybe he knows Trump. Maybe they hang out together. Maybe I need to tell my dad, hey, man, can I meet President Trump? I'm a big fan. Yeah. Trump is, understand, and see, I've already changed the subject, and I'm sorry. But Trump is a corporate president. Corporation. He's not running America. He is not running America. Okay? He's running the United States. Corporate. If he was running America, we would still have our constitutional rights and Bill of Rights. We would have all of that. The government would be run by the Constitution, and we would have our Bill of Rights, our God-given rights. Do we have them? No. We're the land of laws. They own your name. That's the point. It's the biggest scam in history. The name of everybody in this world is owned by the government. Did you know that? Did you know that? Your name, you are owned by the government. If I was to ask you, who owns you? Well, I own me. Nope, the government does. Sorry, that's why you're under all this crap. That's why you're a slave. See where I'm at? That's why I don't vote. I'm not going to go put my name on a voter registration thing, man. I'll sign my life away where they go, you said you was a United States citizen. I said nothing even. I never put that. If I sign anything, it's going to say, without prejudice, UCC 1-308. I'll reserve my common law. Michael L. Katt. Bam. There it is. They are not. Are you talking about me? Man, I need to quit looking over there. So anyway, that's why I don't vote. Just for that reason. I would like Trump to win. I mean, the one thing that really upset me more than anything is when Obama was in office. I have nothing against the black president. In fact, all the way back to 1995, if I thought he would have won, I would have voted for Alan Keyes. Alan Keyes, that would have been a great black president. He would have solved stuff, man. He is like the black Ron Paul. That is Alan Keyes. And Alan Keyes lost the debate to Obama in Chicago, and I thought, how is that possible? Can't happen. They had like liberals up there going, nope, you lose. Obama wins. He's into the presidency. Liberals, man. They never give you what you want. They always give you the crap. I'll give you that. And you know what? I kind of have some hope. I kind of have some hope with Trump because maybe he is. He is a citizen president. He is not a politician. And if he is holding true, because when he took office at the inauguration, he said, I am giving this country back to its people. Back to you. Note, I want to point out, he never says United States. He never says that. And I want to make a point. He never says the United States. He says America. When the song, when he comes out, proud to be an American, not born in the USA. because that's crap, and he knows it. He knows it's utterly master-slave crap. That's exactly what it is, and he don't use it. Now, that tells me maybe he's got to play it. He's got to play both sides, but he's to the side of the people. Would he get rid of the Federal Reserve? Would he end taxes? Would he go back to a gold standard? Would he, you see where I'm at? Would he start doing this? Would he give us back common law? Would he do all of that? I don't know. But what if he would? Let's kind of keep our eye to that, because if he gets rid of the Democrats, we could be halfway there. And I did not see this coming when he got elected. I go back, see, that would have been 2012. A friend of mine said, "Did you hear Donald Trump might be running?" Yeah. Well, yeah, but he's a businessman. And I'm like, yeah, he's show. That's what I told him. I said, it would be one thing if, but at that time, I already knew the lowdown on this. And I'm like, he's not going to get in there and do anything, because if it could be done, and that's what they wanted to do, it would have already been done long and ever ago. So he's not going to get in there and do that. He's going to do the same thing that Democrats and Republicans have always done. When he got in there, then stuff started happening. And I'm like, kind of like this guy a little bit. I love to hear him talk. I love to hear him get in their asses. I love it, man. In fact, man, if he's like doing an interview, I'm going to go watch it. I like Trump. I do. I like the guy. I think the guy is a very good guy. They don't have anything on him, and they hate that. They hate it. They want something on him. They ain't got it. See, right now, you see what I'm doing? I am on here and I'm talking politics, and that is what I used to do on my channel long and ever ago. I used to talk politics. I used to do what Icons is doing now. You see where I'm at? And when I seen Icons' channel, when I was watching, I'm like, that guy's really good. So that guy's really, really good, man. He's covering like everything. He's covering like what I used to, and he's doing it really, really well. Plus, he added the redemption in. And let me tell you, for years, way over 20 years, I could probably give that a date. I'll just say well over 20 years, I have known the whole of what happened to America. The destruction, the Federal Reserve, the corporatizing, the executive order by Roosevelt that put us under. I already knew all that. I knew the reasons why we were slaves. I knew every reason why, but I never knew that there was remedy. I never knew there was remedy, that there is remedy. And this is why I tell you to join my new channel, UCC1. You're going to find out exactly how to not be a slave anymore. It's time to step up, be sovereign, people, because you was born sovereign, whether you know it or not. Thank you very much, Jackie. Yeah, see, it says Trump and Einstein are good friends. You know what? I'm not going to say that Trump and Epstein are good friends. I seen where Trump had said, he's a good guy, and, he likes women like I do, but he likes them kind of young. Well, Trump had actually said, contrary to what he had said before, I was never a fan. He kicked him out of, Mar-a-Lago, like years ago. He said he wasn't a fan, and he said that he kind of knew what was going to happen to him. And that's, I booted somebody off of Facebook for that. Well, he said this and that and the other. So see, Trump, and I'm all like, yeah, later. Trump is a con man. That's great. That's great. Let him con. Let him con. It depends on who is he conning. He's not conning me. I have not seen one con directed at me by Trump. Not a single one. If he's conning them, more power to him. Because that's what I am seeing. I'm seeing him con them. Let me get this link for you one more time. And I'm probably going to be out of here at 9. That would be 2 hours. But this is my UCC1 link. Now, this is not going to cover the Delphi case. This is going to cover. This is going to cover the other. This is going to cover America, freedom, so forth. This is going to cover the land of laws, how to get out, how to remain free, and how to become a private citizen once you're free. This is the stepping stone right here. This pulls you out of their jurisdiction and pretty much makes you exempt from state and federal prosecution and taxes. You heard it right here, right here. Yeah, same, Alley Cat. That's exactly. Yeah. You know what? When I seen his channel and heard what he was talking about, once I caught on to what he was saying, just a couple of videos real quick, I'm like, yeah, I like this guy. Subscribe. After a few more, I'm like, yeah, this is that dude. This is the guy that's talking about it right there. So, yeah, icons. So, and again, if you want to go over to my new channel, go ahead, but I won't be talking about that. So unless you have an interest in such, I wouldn't go there. But if you do, you should already be subscribed. Now, I'm not going to make videos until, well, what I'm waiting on is my birth certificate to get back. I got my Indiana long form birth certificate. I sent it to be authenticated by the state of Indiana. It was. And I sent it to the Secretary of State federally to then have it secondarily authenticated federally. And I was expecting it back about today, but it could be this week or next for what I know. As soon as it does, I'm filing. I title myself at that point. I will be self-titled. He is. Thank you very much, Monica. I love it. I love my little bear. Yeah, sometimes when I'm making a video like this, I just want to get up and just go hug the crap out of it. Oh, I don't know. Sick Willie. You know what? I'm a veteran. And I will say this concerning veterans. They put their life on the line and they fight the nation's battles. But, and I want to be very clear, they're not fighting for your freedom. If you think they're over there fighting for your freedom, you need to tell me how. They're over in Kuwait fighting for my freedom. They're over in Iraq fighting for my freedom. They're over in Syria fighting for my freedom. They're going to be in Iran fighting for my freedom. No, they're not. No. Vietnam was about my freedom. No, it wasn't. World War II might have been. Not really. No, your freedom. Now, if you go back to the Civil War and the Revolutionary War, yeah, there it was. But every war after that, no. They were fighting the nation's wars. And I'm not saying that that was a bad thing in every case. Because, I mean, look, World War II or World War I, yeah. But World War II, yeah, we probably should have been there and then did that. And we did. Thank you. You're welcome, America. Well, you're welcome, Europe. We went over there and did that for you. You're plenty welcome. Now get off of Trump's backside. You see where I'm at? But they're not fighting for freedom. And I hate that when people say, thank you for serving our country. Fighting for our freedom. How are they fighting for your freedom? My brothers are in the Navy. They're not fighting for your freedom. I was in the Army. Never fought one time for your freedom. My dad was in Vietnam. But he wasn't fighting for your freedom. He was fighting because he was in the Army. That is our armed forces. And again, it's just like respecting cops. I don't respect cops. Cops don't do anything respectful. I don't like cops. Sorry, that's me. If you respect them, well, you probably watch a lot of television and believe all the crap the government tells you. Because I don't know why else you would. You know what, Wolf? You're getting big praise over here. Where you at? Yeah, he's in my spot. He always hops in my spot when I move. Yeah, I love my bear, man. He's 14. You know what? His dad lived to be 15 and a half. You okay, bear? Had a little cough. His dad lived to be 15 and a half, but he had like real bad cataracts and stuff, and was pretty gray. And Wolf really don't have that at 14. He's got his left eye's a little shaded, just, but that's it. Other than that, he's got very clear, great, beautiful eyes. Well, and you're welcome. And I don't have anything against that, because if somebody's in the country, man, thank them for their, service to the country. But when somebody's like, thank you for like fighting for my freedoms, well, that never happened. That never ever happened. And there are people out there that are fighting, and they're probably like crap themselves, man, because of like being in it. That takes some balls, man, and they're over there getting army pay, so, it's not like they're getting big money, and when they come back, they're probably a little wrecked because of it. I'm with you. Exactly. Defense, not war. But Chicken Little, I mean, it does kind of bring to that. It's like, well, what is defense? I mean, it could be having the biggest military in the world, could be having the most nukes in the world, and again, that kind of brings in like the Russian arms race, and that's what kind of led to that. And then we're like, holy crap, man, we're spending all of our money on nukes, and so are they, and we got enough to destroy the world forever over. We don't need any more. So, it's kind of like that. I appreciate you saying so. I appreciated being in the Army. I did not think that being military police corps was what I thought it was going to be. I thought that it would have been a little bit more involved, like police work wise. I did a lot of my time at the gate, ammo, guard this, don't smoke. Why? Because they'll know you're here. I want them to know I'm here. Don't smoke. Okay. So I mean, that was the biggest part of my years, man. But I got out because, I mean, like after the fact, it was like, I don't want to do like 20 years of this. I think I should just get out right now and like go pursue other options, which is what I did. Yeah, you know what? He don't look 14. He don't. He really don't. All right, I got 16 minutes. Man, this has been a long 2 hours. Just kind of has. Is there anybody on here that's UK? UK, anybody? Usually when I say UK, man, you guys are like, man, I'm all over the UK, people. How I met Wolf. Well, you know what? I mean, if you want to know, the way that it happened is I lived in Camden. This is when I first came back to Indiana. This is in 1999. And I moved out to Camden. My dad had a little puppy that he had just got. His name was, and I forget what his name was. I don't even think he had a name. So he had a little rat terrier puppy. That was out of his dog, Jasper. All right. So it was out in his kennel. Well, I wanted a dog. So I asked my dad, because I was out feeding the dogs for him while he was on vacation. I says, man, you know what? Why don't you sell me that puppy? You can have him. He was picking the litter out of one of Jasper's litters. That was, So I got him, and I had him for 6 years. He was my baby. He was just like Wolf to a big extent. And I was walking out this way near, was that West Judson? No, wait, West Middleton. And he was walking over this way because we was right there by the highway. And he started to walk around to my front. I had just bought him like a new leather collar, and there was a car coming. I tried to go like this. I says, get back over here. And I'm like pulling this way. And the collar slipped off of his head as he was backing up. Van hit him, killed him instantly. I have cried 4 times in my life, and that was one of them. I sat there and cried and cried. And the lady came back in the van and asked me if I was all right. And I told her, that my best friend had just died, and and she's asking if there was anything she could do, and this and that, and that she was sorry. And I told her because there was no way she could have missed him. There was no way. I mean, I didn't hold her to blame for it. But he was dead. So when I got to my dad's house, they knew I had already called. And my stepmom told me that my dog, because he had puppies, with their dog, Susie, their female rat terrier. So he says, well, he's got puppies coming, man. There should be like one any day. She's going to have them. And asked me if I wanted one, And I'm like, no. I said, I'm like, I can't. I can't. Because I knew that there was going to be a long time there with mourning. Because, man, I love Shmoo. Shmoo is my baby, And anyway, I moved up to the lake at that point, and I own a lake. And she stopped up there when Wolf was 6 weeks old. 6 weeks, little bitty puppy, and just brought him to me. She goes, here, man, I got you the cutest one album. Here, I want you to have him. I looked at him, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take him, and I'm going to love that shit out of him forever. I have, too, hadn't I? Yeah. And that's how. Now, when I say his dad, this is kind of how this comes down. No, my bad on that. He had the puppies. My dog had the puppies. One of the puppies had got knocked up by Jasper, their dog. But Jasper was my dog's dad, so it was actually like a grandfather to granddaughter line breeding. Anyway, I got Wolf, man, great genetics, awesome dog. That's how I met Wolf. Thank you. Well, life. I mean, he is 14. He is 14, and that's it will. It will happen, but I don't want to. I may never get another dog after that because, you know what? It's been me and Wolf for 14 years, literally me and Wolf. You know where I'm at? Me and Wolf. So when you're around somebody 24/7, you know where I'm at. You just have that connection. You're always around them. You always know what they're doing. You always, they're a part of your life. So. That's why I may not get another dog again. Yeah, me too. I do love dogs. And I do say this with a little bit of humor, but in a way, it's kind of true. I like people. I do. I think that people are misguided. Not everyone. And I'm probably not talking to you or anything like that, but a lot of people, when I meet them, you can tell that they're misguided because they believe their television, they believe the news, they believe what's said, but they never really fact check and look into anything. That's why they're misguided. It's not that they're stupid; they're uneducated on things, and I tell them that you misunderstand, and I tell them why. But dogs, you see, it don't matter what dog. Don't matter if it's an itty bitty little tiny pocket puppy. I love it. If it's a great big dog that could be like considered a truck, I love it. I love dogs because dogs are our best friend. They always have been. They have been back to caveman times. They've been our best friends because they could hunt, because they could smell, because they could do all the things that we couldn't in hunting. And we knew that. And once we got them on our side and started breeding them, if a dog bit a person, it was put to death. They didn't want a dog that was going to bite a person. This is how we domesticated them. And this is why. Because going all the way back to caveman days, every domestic dog has been a domestic dog all the way back to caveman times. Something to think about. That's a long time that dogs have been with us. They adapted to us. They evolved toward us. They have our expressions. We can tell when they're mad, when they're jealous, when they're happy, when they want something. I mean, we can tell because they express it very similar to us, probably more so than any other animal. A dog relates to us right up here. And that's why I love dogs. I posted on Facebook the other day, and I think it was, what's that cowboy's name? Crap. Okay, I forget his name off the top of my head. Somebody's going to tell me. But anyway, it said, I don't really care what people think about me. But dogs, I want dogs to like me. That's me. I don't so much care if somebody don't like me. A lot of people don't like me. But if they have a dog, I want that dog to like me. That's me on the line, man. If a dog don't like me, something's wrong, I go out of my way. Man, if I'm in town, man, and I see somebody out walking their dog, I'm like, look, there's a person walking their dog. Hey, puppy. I'm waving at him. That's me. But the person might think I'm weird. I don't care. I want to say hi to your dog, man. You got him out there so I can see him. Sorry. Yeah. Well, I did. I did find a dog that I could enjoy because, I could probably enjoy about any dog. But there are dogs that people relate to. Like, how would I put it? There are dogs that I wouldn't want to have. You see what I mean? I wouldn't want to have them because they're high energy and always want to go out and do. Well, I can't all the time go out and do because I got a lot of other things that I got to do where the dog's got to be alone here and there. So, there are some dogs that I can't, and most everybody gets pit bulls. Everybody gets pit bulls and then says they don't bite. I never thought they bite. But the thing is it's like everybody in the world doesn't have to get a pit bull just so they can tell people that they don't bite. We get it. Get a different dog. I think the main people that people get pit bulls is because everybody's got a pit bull. Nobody gets them spayed or neutered. Everybody ends up with puppies that they sell super cheap, and everybody buys a pit bull. That's why. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If a dog bites somebody because they're an a-hole, shoot the person, man. Don't shoot that. Wait, 67. Mate, it was 67 thumbs up like a half hour ago. My Lord. There's 36 people here. I mean, yeah, it looks nice that I'm like well over 30 more than there's people here, but God, couldn't I at least get like 70 thumbs up? Couldn't people hit a like button here and there? Five minutes. Any questions? Go. Yeah. And they are. And that's sad. I don't have anything against a pit bull. I love pit bulls. I do. They're a great dog for some people. I think that everybody goes and gets a pit bull because they're cheap and then want to stand on side that they don't bite people. Well, pit bulls never, they don't. How do I put it? They will bite people if they're trained to bite people. But the thing is every single domestic dog, if that dog ever, like a puppy bit a person, even when it was a dog, they would usually kill that dog. They didn't want a dog that would bite people. Pit bulls aren't human aggressive. They're animal aggressive. That's different. A pit bull may, if it's not socialized with other dogs, attack a strange dog. But it depends on the pit bull and how it was trained. You see where I'm at? I don't have a thing against a pit bull. I don't think everybody in the world needs a pit bull. In fact, if I was going to get another puppy, I'd give me a toy little Yorkshire Terrier, a male. Have you ever seen those things? They're crazy, man. I had a friend, she had one. I think his name was Samson. Little bitty puppy, just cute as all get out. Had a Mastiff come in the yard. I swear to you, that little dog just swelled up and went out there biting at that dog. The dog thought it was playing around. Like, what is this dog doing? I thought, that is hilarious. That is hilarious as all get out, man. Man, I love Samson. I might slide him in my pocket and take him home. That's the cutest dog ever, man. Yeah. You know what? I got a friend, and she had Muggsy, and she had a pit bull puppy out of her, red-nosed pit. Wanted to keep the dog, but she says me and him both work. We wouldn't be here, so we need somebody to give him puppy training. So I can do that. I know that they wanted a puppy out of him, and I really liked Muggsy, their pit bull, a great dog. So I says, well, you can bring him out. I'll puppy train him. And they did bring him out. And I had him for like 3 months. And after a while, because I was really starting to love that pit bull, and I told him, I'm like, you know what? You need to come out here and get this puppy now, because this puppy's like at about 5 months old. I said, and if he's here much longer, I'm going to impact him. And once he's in the pack, there ain't no getting him back. He's not leaving my house. They came and got him. Love that dog, man. He's a great dog. All right, 2 minutes. If anybody's got a question, throw it up there. I'm going to have to go 74. Look at you guys. You guys rock the most. Do you know that? You guys rock. Wolf, I'm talking to people on YouTube that rock. Somebody mentioned me in a comment. No, I don't want to go see the comment. I do live at Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time, just like tonight. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. I run it usually for 2 hours. So next Tuesday at 7, I'll be here. Every Tuesday night at 7, I'll be here. Even if there's nothing to discuss, I'll discuss something just to be here. Most people are. I've noticed that. Thank you very much, Cheryl Higgins. Thank you, Harley. And I appreciate everybody being here. I really, really do. So I am fixing to sign off. Thank you for being here, Sarah Lopez and Cheryl. Everybody that is here, appreciate it. Everybody that's been here and everybody that will show up and everybody that missed it live. Tell me that you missed. Still happy that you found the video and are watching it. So I will see everybody next week on Tuesday, and barring something happening, if something new happens in Delphi, I'll make a video covering it. Peace, y'all.